Hi, so I'm Brianna Latchley, my husband Colby Latchley. So how has Maddie's been a part of our grief journey? So this could be a really long story. Well, unfortunately, in July 3rd of 2016, we lost our little boy named Trip. I was 39 weeks pregnant and we had him, he was stillborn. It was very normal, easy going pregnancy. Everything went great. He was our second child. So we were just super excited to give, our oldest son, Tucker, a little brother. Like I said, everything was easy going. Well, I woke up one morning not really feeling myself, so we decided to go ahead and head on to the hospital and just to check on and make sure everything's going okay. And honestly, I actually thought that I might be going into preterm labor. So I was more excited than worried because I thought, oh, well, maybe he's just gonna come a few days early. And then whenever we got there, after, of course, multiple ultrasound machines, multiple doctors, they decided to let us know that he was no longer with us and that he didn't have a heartbeat. And so we went through the whole process of deciding, what are we gonna do next? Are we gonna, induce labor? Are we gonna have a C-section? And luckily my doctor, who has been very close to us from day one, stepped in and helped me make some very hard but very good decisions. We ended up giving birth to him that night, and within hours, my husband started getting phone calls from Maddie's. And that was kind of the day that Maddie stepped into our lives, and little did we know we were going to become so involved so quickly.
One of the biggest things that I can remember from when she first went to one of her first Maddie's meetings, she came back and one of her first words were, "I'm not the only crazy one." I thought that was the funniest thing, because I'm thinking in the back of my mind, God, there's a bunch of y'all. But I think her connecting with Maddie's and having a group that understood what she was going through took the edge off of her, because as a husband, I didn't know what to say. And it tore me up not being able to help her. But females and men, we deal with things totally different. So I'm very grateful for Maddie's and all the people she's met, because it's helped her move on and do tremendous things in Trip's name. It's been very fun. It's not a great group to join, but once you're in it, it's been excellent. So very appreciative of that.
About 6 months after I lost Trip, me and my husband and actually a few of our friends got together, and we just thought, well, let's make it an annual thing. Let's do something every year. What can we do to, keep his name alive, to celebrate him, and to also, help other people in need. And we realized it brought us all back to Maddie's Footprints. So that led into the Black Pot Cook-Off. It's called the Angel Tea Black Pot Cook-Off. We have had 2 very successful Black Pot Cook-Offs now in his name. And 100% of the proceeds goes back to Maddie's. And it's not only a great day to raise money for Maddie's Footprints, but it's a day that we get to celebrate Trip. All of our family and friends get to celebrate him and remember him. But also I can get as many other families there as possible that have also lost children. Whether it's miscarriages or stillbirths or 1-year-old or 25-year-old children. And I want them to come celebrate their children with us that day. So a message that we would like to give a more current Maddie's family, or a family who has been more recently introduced into Maddie's, is that feeling that you have in your gut right now, that emptiness, that pain, I promise it's not gonna last at that level forever. And that's something that took me a really long time to figure out. But I promise one day you'll begin to have less bad days than good days. You'll begin to have more good days and more good moments. And the main thing to remind yourself daily is that whenever you're thinking about your baby or talking about your baby, I promise you that you are going to smile more often whenever you're talking about them one day than you do now. And the reason I know that is because 4 years later I can finally say that. And it's not going to take a few weeks or a few months. Sometimes it takes years, and that's okay. Just know that it's going to come one day, and you'll never forget them, and you'll never stop hurting for them. But I promise you, you're going to have just as many good feelings for them as you do bad one day. And I'm also here to say that Maddie's Footprints has a lot to do with that. I'm a very open person. I love to talk about my feelings with people, and I love to talk to other people about theirs. So in my mind at first, that's why I thought Maddie's drew me in so much. But what I also want to say is that every single family of Maddie's Footprints grieves differently. We are all very different. We have very different healing processes. And that's the great thing about Maddie's, is that whether you are a very quiet person, like my husband, or very open, like me, or anything at all, just go to that first Maddie's meeting at some point, whether it's a few weeks out, whether it's a few years out, because I promise you, you're going to find somebody there that you're going to fit with.
Love you, Trip, very much.
We love you, Trip. Hey, Cooper. He's pooping. I'll be a minute.